is put everybody onto their favoured tyres. The problem is, I'm not sure how much running they've got on them. Bruno Coelho, top qualifier from Tony Gruber, who won through from the Super Pole. Then the two winners of the semi-finals, Dominic Greiner and Timo Leino. Kyle Branson and Alex Thurston. Alessio Marzio, Edo Escandon, Francesco Tironi and Eric Dankel. We've waited all week for this, and it looked like we were going to be made to wait a little bit longer with a shower just before the start of the A main. Stand by for action. It's the A main final and we're running. And Bruno Coelho gets away from first position with Tony Gruber in his wheel tracks, and already there's a battle for the lead as they cross the finish line. For the first time, 45 minutes the duration here. The leaders absolutely together. Coelho, Gruber. Timo Leino is up into third position in the bright orange car, but he's trying to hold back Kyle Branson, who's up into fourth, and Thurston into fifth. And Tony Gruber is leading it. My apologies. That's Dominic Greiner in second, but Bruno Coelho's dropped all the way down. Missed that off the start, I have to say. So the fastest man in the field is way to the back at the moment and has just gone up into ninth position ahead of Francesco Tironi. Leino, Thurston. Oh, that was a bit of, was that a bump and run? Oh, Leino's got a problem. Is he going to pit? No, he carries on. Well, already plenty of action. So this has been declared a wet race, therefore no control tyre. Tyres are free right now. Timo Leino dropped to the back. Tony Gruber leads from Dominic Greiner in second. Kyle Branson, Alex Thurston, Edu Escandon. Eric Dankel up from 10th on the grid to 6th. Then Francesco Tironi. No, Tironi's just been passed by Bruno Coelho in 7th. Well, we've seen drivers come back in the B main from all kinds of issues. Bruno Coelho is going to have to do exactly that. 2 and 3 are 1 and 2. Let's drop back to the leaders, please. Coming through now. There they are. Tony Gruber leads from Dominic Greiner in second place. Tony Gruber on the WRC with Nova Rossi power. Third at the moment, Kyle Branson. Just back from these two. Oh, and there's been a coming together further back down the field. Who was involved in that? But it's benefited the number one. If you come out wide again here, and we'll pick up end of the Shepherd's straight and into the horseshoe now. That little battle there. That is Bruno Coelho and Alex Thurston. And Coelho's gone through. No, still sitting in behind Thurston there. Thought he'd made it through. Now he's having a look. Little squirt of power down towards the hairpin. The horseshoe area. Now through the Infinity infield complex. This is the battle for 5th and 6th. But Bruno Coelho started from the first place. Didn't get away. Went all the way down to the back of the field. Again, the squirt of power into the horseshoe. Oh, great piece of driving. Let's have a look at that again. As Thurston's got back through, there was an opportunity perhaps for a pass into the horseshoe. Coelho didn't take it, but then went up the inside as Thurston made a slight mistake. But look at Thurston fight back here, and he goes back around the outside, and that's where he is, but he's just lost it again. Great racing. And Coelho now then up into that position. There was the pass through. Big groan from the crowd. 4 cars together on the pit straight at the moment, but Coelho's got through them. Let's pick up the leaders then. Tony Gruber and Dominic Greiner coming onto the Shepherd straight now. First and second. Decent separation for them there. Then Kyle Branson having a good run. Edo Escandon on the Shepherd in 4th place. Then Coelho. Here's the leaders. Coming into the first set of pit stops. It's almost that time already. And leader into the pits. Nope, sorry. Yes, he is. I was right. I thought I saw his pit crew working there. Let's pick up the number 1 car of Bruno Coelho. Does he go? Oh my goodness, what's happened there? An absolute nightmare in the pits. Alessio Mazzio, I think. Looks like he just died there. And then he got hammered by the car coming out, which was one of our leaders. Well, goodness me. So Dominic Greiner still leads after the pit stops. So the A-main with 5 minutes gone. The first set of pit stops. Let's take a look at the running positions. Tony Gruber leads from Dominic Greiner in second. Edo Escadon moved up from 8th to 3rd. Bruno Coelho having dropped down to 10th. Now in 4th position. And Coelho has just gone by Edo Escandon. And now into 3rd. The charge back continues. Still over 35 minutes of racing to go. And the gap between Bruno Coelho and the leader is just 9 seconds. There is Coelho. Now where are the leaders? The leaders are just crossing the line and heading through the pit straight. Here they come and there they go. So that's first and second now, having cleared the traffic. Bruno Coelho, 17.610, the best time so far, and that's Tony Gruber's time. 17.731 for the leader last time around. 17.771 for second. 17.6 for Coelho. The problem is the guys that he's chasing down are very quick, and he's not going to take full seconds out of them. It will be 10th. Up into 4th position then. Alex Thurston has dropped to the back and lost laps with problems. Edu Escadon is 4th. Kyle Branson 5th. Alessio Mazzio 6th. Francesco Tironi 7th. 8th Dankel. 9th after his early problems. Timo Leno. Top 3 lapping within thousandths of each other. 17.8 and 17.7. 17.6 from Coelho last time. He's grabbed back a couple of tenths, but he's still 8 seconds away from the 2 leaders who are in traffic. Tony Gruber won Super Pole and leads. Greiner, the only other driver than Coelho to have topped a qualifying session, in second. Coelho, the TQ, leading it out. So is this going to be another story of a phenomenal fight back? Bruno Coelho can't panic here. He's still in the hunt here. Tyre wear, fuel stops. tyre changes all still in the mix. Gruber and Greiner together working their way through traffic here. And they've got ahead of them Alessio Mazio, and he's in his own battle at the moment. You have to let the leaders through though. Alessio Mazio is the car right ahead of our leader at the moment and pulls out of the way. Nicely done. Alex Thurston back out on the track will be the next car to lose another lap. He's already 5 laps off the lead after his early issues. Again, nice driving from everyone concerned. However, pit lane, and in comes the leaders. That was just a fuel stop there. 17.8 for the leaders, 18.1 for the chasing Coelho. And it's 8-9 seconds now. The leaders are pulling away from Bruno Coelho. 10 minutes gone. Tony Gruber's pit stop gave him a 22.5 second lap. That's a very quick fuel stop. And here's another one. And that again looked very efficient to me. The car taken over the barrier. Greiner, Gruber, Eduardo Escandon, as Coelho must have stopped there and dropped back just a wee bit. Well, surely now Bruno Coelho can't get this back. He's dropped off the lead lap. This could be down to tyres at the end of the day. Gruber and Greiner still leading it out. 2 from 3. And when we said that this was Coelho's to lose, it has been. And now in 5th position with Edu Escandon from 8th on the Shepherd, holding down a podium position, but so much racing to go, still more than half an hour. First and second still locked together. Just go forward to our leader, please. The yellow car, orange car rather. Thank you. There is Tony Gruber. They have 4 seconds now on Edo Escandon. Actually, they don't. They've got laps on him. They've got a lap and more. So it's going to be between these two unless there's even more drama. These are 2 of the 3 drivers who have been the class of the field. The third has not had the best of runs. The Portuguese driver Bruno Coelho will be very, very impressed if he can add a second European Championship to his off-road title that he gained a couple of weeks ago. You saw that live here on RC Racing TV. We're live trackside. Gruber from Greiner, WRC from Serpent, both with Nova Rossi power. Then Eduardo Escandon, Edu to his friends. Another Nova Rossi powered car, this time a Shepherd chassis. So see if we can pick him up, the number 8 car behind the leaders. Oh, of course, we're about to start pit stops again, aren't we? There is Edo. 18 flat for him last time around. Alesio's next up, 18-1, and he's right there too in the 7 car. That is actually a battle for the 3rd step on the podium there, with Alesio Mazio just about a second or so behind Edu on the 8. Yeah, being asked, Timo Lino asked to pull over. Right, more pit stops coming, so see if we can pick our leaders up and then go through again. 15 minutes down. First and second have never been more than 3/4 of a second apart in the last quarter of an hour. Extraordinary stuff. Fastest lap of the race so far, 17.652 for Dominic Greiner. So another round of pit stops, we're in the middle of it. That's our leader, Greiner. Tony Gruber stopped last time around, so Greiner should be coming in. We'll keep an eye on him as he hits the pit lane and see if we can pick up second, see if there's a change on the pit stop strategy here. Yeah, in he comes. So let's pick up second place. Here he comes round the final corner now. And underneath us, oh, there's a tyre change going on for the leader. So the leader's gone for a tyre change with still half an hour to go. So this is costing the time. You can see the guys working on the wrenches. He's going to lose laps here. And down and away. There's our new leader. So Dominic Greiner and Tony Gruber have hardly been separated, but now there will be. 45 seconds for Greiner with that pit stop. So Gruber leads, but by an increased margin now. He's got a lap on the field. Now that is quite brave to drop off the lead lap. He hasn't just done what the leader was doing. Tony Gruber then leads it now by a lap and 4 seconds. Make that 2 laps. No, I was right the first place. A lap in 4 seconds. Thank you. Timing screen just taking a moment to catch up. Not very often that my thought process is quicker than the timing screen, but that was the ones for this year. So Tony Gruber leading, but has yet to do a tyre change. Dominic Greiner in second, has held on to second place by a couple of seconds. Let's see if we can pick him up. Just going across the start-finish line now. That is Greiner. And Bruno Coelho is back up to third position now. So I wonder if he's had a pit stop for tyres as well and done a tyre change. Remember, this was declared a wet race, so tyre choice is free. One car further back from Greiner is Coelho on the 1. The orange on the car. Here he comes through the Infinity infield section. So that is Coelho. 60 laps completed. 61 laps completed by Tony Gruber. And then Greiner and Coelho pretty much together. Another 4 minutes of racing almost completed. Alex Thurston with the pink car is off the pace, having had a problem earlier on, still 5 laps away from the leader. Tony Gruber 18-4, but a 17-7 from Greiner. Now that's interesting to me, that they are making better times. Gruber, remember, has not changed tyres yet. We're almost halfway through the race. Greiner has made his tyre change after 15 minutes. Can he go to the end with the tyres? Let's pick up the leader, Tony Gruber, on the 2 car. In the middle section now. Coming through to finish the lap. Any second now. Here he goes, he's just crossed the line. Underneath you there. Number 2 car, as we're into the pit stop cycle again. And is that a tyre change for the leader? I think it is. Gruber has gone for changing tyres at 20 minutes into the contest. Just at the top there, yep, there he is, down and away. So Dominic Greiner is now back on the lead lap. And the leader on the track, Edu Escandon, on the on the Shepherd, excuse me. Edu Escandon then leads it by 3 seconds. So let's pick up that number 8 car. Give him his due tactics. He may have just used his tyres less. We're halfway through the EFRA 1/10 IC track final, and Bruno Coelho nips to the lead. The number 1 driver, the top qualifier, having had an awful start, goes to the lead. Coelho leads it. There he is. As Edu Escandon has pitted. Well, this is an extraordinary 4 seconds the lead now of Coelho. But remember, he and Greiner stopped early. Greiner's lost a lot of time in that pit stop. Tony Gruber now in second. Greiner's dropped right down, so there's been a problem for Greiner, who changed his tyres at 30 minutes. So Bruno Coelho then, after an awful category. So another 2.5 minutes of racing has gone. Just drop back 1 car if we can, I think. That is Bruno Coelho. And this is important because Tony Gruber, who we're watching, and that's a lap. That's a lap now. So a lap has been put on Tony Gruber in second place by Bruno Coelho. I've no clue how he did that. Amazing piece of driving. Bruno Coelho has the best lap of the race, a 17.5. So significant moment there, and you saw it live here on RC Racing TV with Infinity and Shepherd. So that's first and second, but there is now a full lap, and that distance you can see on screen between Bruno Coelho, who started as top qualifier, had an awful start, went all the way at the back of the field, and has worked his way through by half distance to lead, and lead by a lap. Extraordinary stuff here. Brilliant driving by the Portuguese man. A real all-rounder. He's already run the off-roads and won the European Champs this year. Is he adding a second European Championship in a couple of weeks to his trophy cabinets? Here, Tony Gruber trying to get his lap back here. This is not a battle for the lead. Well, it might be. Tyres here Remember, Tony Gruber went very long without changing his tyres. Kyle Branson from Great Britain is third, but can't take our eyes off this one at the moment. He is 10 seconds behind this battle. As into the pits. And that looks to me like tyres on that car as well. Yeah, and some changes being made, but definitely tyres going on. So Gruber goes back to the lead as Coelho stops for tyres with 20 minutes to go. There's your new leader, Tony Gruber. Back to the front of the pack on the number 2. Gruber then, with Nova Rossi Power and the WRC, the German driver who won Superpole, leads it. Now, can he get to the end on the tyres he's on? Kyle Branson now in second place. Edu Escandon in third for the moment. Greiner, having stopped, made a couple of stops, is back up into fourth. Coelho on new tyres. Fastest man on the track. And the leader, 23-0 last time around. That must have been a fuel stop. Great stuff here from Gruber. And he is the only driver on the lead lap at the moment. He's completed 85. We're moving into the closing stages, the last 15 minutes. This will be about who has tyres and the pace at the end. Coelho has got past Dominic Greiner, who's just pitted. Greiner's off strategy here somewhere. He's not pitting when everyone else is, and we're getting a false reading on him. What I haven't worked out yet is whether on count back he's going to do a stop less than everybody else and therefore pop up in the top 3 at the end. It's possible. Tony Gruber with a hand on the trophy, just the one. Coelho in second. Greiner from Germany in third. 2 Germans and a Portuguese at the moment in the podium positions. Moving into the last 17 minutes of the F1 110th IC Track Championships, European Championships for 2017, live on rcracing.tv. The team trackside having had a brilliant few days here. Timo Leino about to get a lap put on him here by the leader. Not been the best of runs for the Finn. I think he'll be asked to move over here. So Tony Gruber racing with Nova Rossi Power. So is Dominic Greiner. Max Power for Coelho. So 2, 1 and 3 are the top 3 positions, but Tony Gruber's got a lap on the field. Another 17.7 from Coelho last time around. He's the man with the fastest lap so far at 17.5. So they are very close to full pace here as we're coming down to the next set of pit stops for Gruber and Coelho. Greiner made his pit stop a minute and a half ago, and so is off strategy. Let's head back to Coelho if we can. It's the number 1 car. There he is. Coelho with a lap and a second. They are very close together. Coelho trying to get his lap back. Remember, Coelho put a lap on Tony Gruber, but then stopped for tyres, which dropped him a lap. Tony Gruber stopped at about half distance. In fact, just a little further than that for tyres, 20 minutes in. And the question for me is, will Gruber's tyres hold till the end? Can he keep up this pace? 18 flat for Gruber last time around. That is another long stop. No. Thought they were going to go for more tyres for Coelho. So he will have dropped out to second position. 17.9 is lap before the pit stop. And afterwards, a 25.5. So a 6-second stop. That was fuel only. And off on the front straight, but that's not one of the main runners, I don't think. Tony Gruber has just clocked his 100th lap. 100 laps down for the leader. Tony Gruber on the number 2 then. Dominic Greiner drops back down again after his pit stop. 2.183. Edu Eskandon's driving a very canny race here. Just keeps popping up into the top 3 on the pit stop rotation. Question to me, will he be there at the end? I really don't know. Coelho in second is the car we're looking at the moment. And he has just about a second of a gap between himself and Edu Eskandon. Drop back, if we can, to the number 8 car, please. And you know, every time I say that, he goes into the pits. Sorry, Harry. Time to pick up Tony Gruber again, then. Our leader. Gruber with the number 2. Just started the lap. In the middle portion now. There he is. Now, Alex Thurston has the leader in his wheel tracks at the moment. And here we go again, because right behind the leader there is Coelho. That's the second place car, but they are at the moment a lap apart, as the marshal nearly gets cleaned out by Kyle Branson there, who's dropped down to 7th position. So this is first and second that we're looking at, but there's a lap between them. Crossing the line. Bruno Coelho is a lap down, so he'll want to get back ahead, and that's Dominic Greiner, just a little bit further back behind them. In the distance there, got a flash of his car, but this is significant here. If Coelho can get back on the lead lap, can he get a gap back to the leader and start to plan his return to the top step of the podium? He's done this the hard way if he's going to win it. It's been a great run by Tony Gruber into the hairpin in front of the Jeep pit lane. Underneath us, this is fantastic racing. The concentration required here is extraordinary. This is where Coelho is very good indeed. We've seen him make positions here before. Has a think about it. Across the curbs. Nothing between them. 17.9, 17.9 for the two cars. And they're still the fastest two drivers on the track, despite the fact they're racing this closely. Remember, there's a full lap of the Mulhouse circuit between them. And you might be thinking, why is Tony trying too hard? He does not want to let that car behind him get on the lead lap, but I don't think he can stop him now. Oh, side by side. Brilliant stuff. And he's back on the lead lap. That's not a change of lead. Not a change of lead, but that is Bruno Coelho now on the end of the lead lap. Brilliant side-by-side driving into the hairpin onto the Shepherd Straight. I thought for a moment that Tony Gruber was going to out-drag him, but he couldn't make it happen. Now back to live. 10 minutes to go, 2 more stops. Now, will Gruber's tyres hold on? Change them at 20 minutes. And it's a pit, so just having got onto the lead lap, Bruno Coelho has to pit. He's down and away. Just a fuel stop there for the Portuguese. The leader on his own then, crossing the line and comes towards the pits, does not pit. There's your leader. Now when he pits, we'll pick up Bruno. 9:30. Edu Escandon is just 3 seconds again behind Bruno. But he's due a pit stop as well. Pit lane action there. There's the leader. It's Coelho, isn't it? Sorry, my apologies. So where did he come out in? Now remember, Coelho just got back on the lead lap before the pit stops. So Coelho coming through. 8 seconds is the gap. 8 seconds is the gap now. And there's one more pit stop for both of these drivers. Tony Gruber just going onto the main straight now. Up towards the horseshoe. Coming across the line, the leader, Tony Gruber. And the gap last time around was going out. So just 2 tyres for Gruber on the last pit stop. So, having changed all 4 at 20 minutes, he changed the outside tyres at the last pit stop. That's a smart move. Kept his position at the head of the field. Eight seconds, the gap. So he's chosen track position over getting a full set of new tyres. It's a predominantly right-handed circuit, and certainly the longer corners are the right-handers. Therefore, the left-hand side tyres gets the hammer. Last 7 minutes. The gap now steady. 6/10 in the advantage of Coelho last time around. So I think Coelho's just pulling it back here. Couple of tenths at the time. It's not quick enough, I don't think. There's our leader. Orange with the black rear wing. Trying to have a close look at Gruber's car, see how it's handling. Is he starting to feel the pace now? Comes to complete another lap. 17.9s from Gruber. This is brilliant stuff. 18.6 last time around, but he had to get through traffic. And all of a sudden the gap is down to 6 seconds. Coelho, perhaps now in the last 5 minutes with one pit stop to do, has still got a chance. Coelho is faster, but not, I think, fast enough. He's in the traffic now. This is extraordinary. 40 minutes of racing completed. And that is still our leader. Let's just wait there for a second as he goes through for the second place driver. Here comes Coelho. And one more pit stop for each of these drivers. Great run from Edu Eskandon from 8th to hold on to 3rd position. Last refueling stop due any time. Coelho is in and out, and he's just ahead of the leader. Just ahead of the leader. He hasn't dropped the lap. That's very important. Go back one car there. There is the leader, who must come in soon. When Coelho goes in, we'll watch the pit stop, Harry, while he's in and he's out. There he is. Now let's find Coelho. This is it now. Race to the end. Just not going to be quick enough. Oh my goodness. It's just on 5 seconds. Gruber. Gruber and Coelho with 4 seconds between them. Greiner still trying to get back to a podium position, by the way. He's lapping a little quicker than Edu Eskandon in 3rd, but I don't think he's going to catch him. He's got a lap to gain if he's going to make it, so Edu Eskandon's done a cracking job on the certain in 3rd position. The predictive is telling me that Coelho can do this, but he's got to actually make the pass. Where is our leader? Crossing the line now, Harry. Let's check in with our leader. He's got traffic. Let's keep an eye on that. Still just 5 seconds. The leader with traffic here, and traffic that helps. I don't think Coelho has quite got enough. This has been a very, very measured run by Tony Gruber, and great tactics as well in taking just left side tyres to stay with track position, so he didn't have to fight Coelho. He would have dropped behind Coelho at that point if he'd had to put the other 2 tyres on. So there's our leader. He's cleared traffic. If anything, I think the gap's gone out a little bit this time around. Yeah, it's 5 seconds plus now. I'm pretty certain now that unless there's been a mistake in the pits, they are both fueled to the end. They both came in just around the 5 minute mark or under that. Coelho was slower that time around by a couple of 3/10. Is it Coelho's tyres who are giving up as those left sides? Oh, big slide by the leader. Now that's the first time we've seen the car moving around like that for a while through that right-hander. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. Is Tony Gruber racing towards another championship? In the last 53 seconds, He's done enough, surely. Great tactics, fabulous driving. 2, possibly 3 laps to go here at Mulhouse for the EFRA 110th IC Track European Championship live on RC Racing TV with Infinity and Shepherd. And at the moment, this is the WRC of German Toni Gruber, Super Pole winner, and surely to be the European champion. One more lap. One more lap for the leader. That is it. Coming through the horseshoe into the Infinity infield section, whereas Coelho's just come off the straight and across the line. That is the wish. That is the win. New European champion, Toni Gruber from Germany. It's a win for WRC with Nova Rossi power. Well, there is our winner. That was absolute quality, confirming then Bruno Coelho by the better part of a lap at the end, with I think his tyres going away from him there. But Toni Gruber with brilliant driving and smart tactics too. 2 tyre change on his penultimate stop that got him out in, and without losing his lead, Eduardo Escandon leading it. Fantastic stuff, or coming home in third, should I say, will be on the podium for Sir